Hi everyone, happy Tuesday. It's Brenda Quintana here, and I have a recorded video for you today because I am still up in Canada. But if all goes according to plan, I am flying back tomorrow and I will get in kind of late on Wednesday. So on Friday, I should be back to my normal schedule with my lives, and I've missed all of you. So I hope you will enjoy this card tutorial, even though I can't interact with you. So today is Casing Tuesday, and that's the day when we take a card out of the catalog and give it a makeover. This challenge is good for both beginners and for people that have been around for a while, like myself, who it really gives me a chance to do a card that is outside of my comfort zone, because sometimes it is not my layout, it is someone else's layout. And so I have to try and work within their parameters. And today I'm actually lucky. I actually picked today's card, so it is within my comfort zone. But this challenge is also good for beginners because it gives you a starting point for making a card. All you need to do is kind of look at the things that you already have, your stamps, your dies, and see what common features there are on the card that you can maybe switch out. It's kind of like a switcheroo challenge. All right, I am going to pop up our card for today. Move my face to the side. Here it is. And I like this card. It has a very easy layout. If you don't have that squished hexagon, you can use a rectangular layer. And I'll show you a second in the sketch challenge, or the sketch, that it is actually pretty easy to just switch that out, that hexagon, for a rectangle. And then you can just use any shape here, or just use that rectangle to be your feature layer, so to speak. So I think this sketch is actually pretty easy to do. All right, so I have a host code going this month. So here it is. And if you want to purchase anything from me this month, if you use this host code, you will get a package of my Retire Designer Series paper for every $50 you spend. I'll be collecting your point totals all month. So if you want to place more than one order, I will put all of your points together, or for every dollar you spend, for every $50 you spend, you get a pack of Designer Series paper. And these are retired papers, but they're in pristine condition, and I package them up in their own little cellophane bag with the original Designer Series paper label. And I've got all sorts of patterns, so you'll get a random pattern of paper, and I will send those to you at the end of the month, so you'll get them in May. So it's a really nice, a lot of my customers love this because some of them end up with a whole bunch of retired paper coming to them, and I will ship them to you for free. So you just have to wait till May until I send them to you. And trust me, I have a lot of retired paper, so I won't run out, and everyone will get what they earn. All right, I'm gonna pop this away, and I want to show you my card before I put my face away. So here's my card for today. Isn't it bright and beautiful? I do have this a squished hexagon. They're the Nested Essentials dies, if you want to check those out. And I used the largest one for this layer, and I just think this card is so sweet, and I love, love, love the bright colors on it. So I'm going to show you how I colored these little birdies with Stampin' Blends, and it's just such a sweet little card to make. All right, let me switch over to my other camera. Okay, I think I'm going to start off, I'm going to do this layer right here, because this is probably our hardest layer, and I'm going to start off by stamping it and coloring it. So we're gonna take our little mini stamp and cut and emboss machine, and we're gonna grab plates. Machine, let's open this up. And we'll grab our plates. My machine is tight, so I don't use the suggested number 1 plate. I switch to the 3 plate, which is a little thinner. And you can do that with your machine too. If anything ever feels too tight, just stop and take a look at your sandwich and make sure it's correct. I'll put one of the clear cutting plates on the bottom. And I've got my biggest squished hexagon. And I'm going to just, they're not called squished hexagons, they're called nested essentials dies. And I'll just put a second cutting plate on top. We're gonna crank this through. It does sometimes crack and pop as it goes through, that's normal. It's actually the clear cutting plate that's getting cut into, so sometimes it will make a little noise. So we'll need one of these to color on. And that's all the die cutting there is for this card. So I'm gonna pop these down here, out of the way. And let's grab Tuxedo Black ink. This is a water-based ink, and you always want to use water-based inks with your alcohol markers. I know it doesn't seem to make sense, but you want to use the opposite. So you want to use a waterproof ink when watercoloring and a water-based ink when using your alcohol markers. Okay, we're going to start off. I'm going to copy my card exactly. I'm going to start off with the biggest bird, and I'm going to try and squish him as far over as he can go. It's a he. I'm actually making this card for my niece's daughter. She is, it's just going to be a christening card. And I know you might think it's a very bright card. I like bright cards. I tend to gravitate to kind of a more bright card for kids than I do something that is maybe more serene. It could have been more serene, but I just like the bright colors. I think it suits having this for a christening card. So this is the dad, this is the mom, and this is the baby bird. And yeah, she's just under a year old, and her christening is coming up very soon. So I thought I would turn this card into a christening card with just the supplies that I have that are still available. So let's pop these over here and out of the way. I'm going to move this. I need this one more time. So then we're going to come in with our Stampin' Blends. Got a whole whack of them here. We'll start off with the Papa Bird. And I'm trying to decide what I want to do first. I want to grab, this is my Crumb Cake Dark marker. And what I'm going to do, might surprise you, but I'm going to stroke on some of these lines here, especially on the wing. Bring a little dark to these lines, and then as I work them in, I'll use the different colors to blend them in. So I'm going to just kind of go over these, and I want to leave a bit of a white space on the wing, and I'm going to come around and just kind of come over top of all of this. I am leaving the edges blank because I'm going to come in with my darker marker and hit them. So let's go in with the dark. Oh, and you probably want to know what colors I'm using. So the first color was Crumb Cake Dark, and this is Balmy Blue. I started off with Balmy Blue Light, and now I'm working in the Balmy Blue Dark. I'm just coming under the wing a bit, adding a little darkness under there, and also on the bottom of the wing. I will share, I've got a labels chart for you for these blends. I'm almost out of the picture here. Let's move this up a bit. I've got a labels chart for my blends that I will share with you in the description of the video. I'll show you what that looks like. I know I bring this up a lot, but for those of you, if this video is your first from me, this is the colors that we have in 2023-2024. I'm about to redo my charts for the new colors that we're getting, and we're retiring some of the colors. And then these are my labels. They're like a label chart, and I cut them into strips, punch them out with a 3/8 inch punch, and then I add them to the end cap with a mini glue dot. So once we switch over to the new catalog, I'll have the new charts available for you. And right now you can find the current color charts if you want them. So I'm going to come in, I just want to do just a teeny tiny bit more blending. I'm going back now. This is the light balmy blue. I'm going to blend just a little bit more. My light. I'm just going to go around the beak a little bit. Okay, so that bird looks pretty good. I'm gonna grab my my pumpkin pie. A pumpkin pie where I broke the lid, I stepped on it, and I borrowed the cap from a color that was dried out completely. And it's still going strong, so I don't want to start my new pumpkin pie yet. I just did, this is pumpkin pie, oh, it's pumpkin pie dark, and I just hit all the beaks with that. All right, so next we're going to do our little bird. And I'm going to start off with, we're using Bubble Bath. I'm going to start off by just hitting those dots with the dark Bubble Bath. And I'm actually going to come around the edge and do dark. I know. The first time I did the light first, and now I'm doing the dark first. You can do it either direction. It just kind of depends on the mood I'm in. And now I'm coming in with my light Bubble Bath, and I'm just blending out that line a little bit. I did not leave a white spot on the little bird. I could have. If I had left a white spot, it would have been at the top of the chest. All right, we're going to do the mama bird now. And the mama bird is just a teeny tiny bit different because it's got a lot of colors on it. I'm going to use my Highland Heather, and I'll just add some stripes. This is Highland Heather Light. You know, I think I used the dark. Almost looks like I used the dark on the, oops, I'm gonna switch to the dark. I may have had to use my, well, I don't know. I may have had to use it on another project. I've been doing double time with all my projects before I left, and I don't know anymore. All the projects are like looking, I confuse them as I'm doing them because I've been filming so many of them in such a short span of time. So let's go in. I'm going to do the dark Bubble Bath and do the stripes here. The mama bird has the most colors in it. And we'll do the head in pink. Is there a bird that looks like this bird in the wild? Nope. Nope. It's an invented bird. I sometimes like to look up birds and their plumage when I'm doing like a realistic bird. But for this one, I just decided to go for it and just use my imagination and creativity to create a bird that maybe does not exist in the wild. Now I'm going to take dark lemon lolly. Oops. I want the bullet tip. Okay. And then we'll come in with the lemon lolly light. Blend out that line. All right. Birds are done, but I want to add, this is the light smoky slate. I'm going to add just a bit of a shadow under each of the birds. And shadows can be pretty simple. I'm going to make this one a little bit larger. Okay. There we go. That was fun to color. And nice bright colors. Okay, let me take these markers, put them away. Let's make the rest of the card. So we're gonna start then with the card base, and this is 8.5 by 5.5 and scored in half at the 4 1/4 inch mark. Let's fold this in half. I'm going to take a piece of designer series paper. Let me measure it. It is 3 inches by 3.5. And we'll glue this centered on the card. I'm just gonna, this wants to keep popping open. Let's press it down just a tiny bit more. We'll take this. Oh, the paper I'm using. I need to tell you which paper I'm using. This paper is actually carrying over into the annual catalog. And one of the reasons why is not this bright side that I'm using. It's actually for the reverse side that has kind of a water wash look. I guess a lot of people used it for that reason. And I just totally forgot that that side existed. But there's these watercolor washes that make really great backdrops for our stamping. So I think that's why it was highly popular. But I actually like some of the bright patterns too for birthdays and such. Okay, so now I've got this piece and we're gonna glue it right on top. Turn this around and center it. So much fun, right? Look at those bright colors. They're repeated. Some of them are repeated in the colors here, so it looks nice together. I've tied, we have these essential baker's twine colors, and I'm using the white here. I use this a lot. It's just because baker's twine is very good on cards because it's very light, and it's also doesn't take away from your card. It just adds a little fun to the card without overtaking it. All right, we need a little greeting down here at the bottom. So let's take our Memento ink pad, and I grabbed a greeting from the Retiring Hello Ladybug stamp set because I needed a little, I don't have a greeting that's current that is a baptism or christening greeting. So I decided to do "It's a Good Day," because then you can write whatever you want on the inside and you don't have to necessarily worry about having the exact perfect greeting. Not to mention the Ladybug, this Hello Ladybug stamp set and the punch are a fabulous thing to have on hand. The retirement sale started last week, so I don't know if these will still be available at this time of this video, but those punches that have little critters on them, those are always good to have. I'm going to stamp It's a Good Day very close to the bottom of this basic white piece. I'm not going to use a die. I am going to use the power of scissors. So I am just going to get as close to the top and about as straight as I can possibly get to just cut this out. It's such a tiny greeting that it's going to be really hard to see if I don't cut straight because it's small. All right. So put this over here, that over there. Grab this. Sometimes it's just easiest just to cut out your greeting. Oops. And just stick it down at the bottom. Look at that. So sweet. Okay, now I need to find my embellishments. Here they are. I'm going to use the Purple Fine Shimmer Gems. Purple is a good color for spring. Let me pop some of my tools away so they're out of the way. And I've got one left. I used a lot of these on my thank you cards from orders from last month. So I'm going to take this and use up what I've got here, and we'll start a new pack today. And we'll add maybe one more of these up top here. Look at that. Isn't that so sweet? It's just so cute. I love it. So this stamp set, Bird's Eye View, is carrying over into the new catalog. So that one should still be around. It's the Ladybug one that I just used the greeting for. That is not going to be available very soon. It's while supplies last, and so I don't know if it's still available as of today or not, because I'm filming this about a week and a half in advance. So it is available right now, but who knows. So there you go. Very cute cards, and just bringing back the colors from the paper, right? So let me come back over to you. Look, I have to show you. This card actually does kind of match my shirt a little bit, doesn't it? So kind of fun too. I'm playing matchy-matchy today. So thank you so much for joining me. I will be back on Friday with a regular live video. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you then. And in the meantime, if you aren't already a subscriber to my YouTube channel, I'd love it if you would subscribe to my channel. And if you'd like notifications, make sure you also click on the bell so that you can be notified when I go live. And if you want to give me a thumbs up or leave me a comment, I would really appreciate that. Let me know if you have any questions. I hope to see some of you on Friday for my live. Have a great week until then. Bye-bye, everyone.